Hey everybody, Steve Schirmer here, the Golf Gambling Podcast, with your one and done picks for the 2023 Rocket Mortgage Classic. And we are getting down closer to the finish line, your one and done contest. We only have, I think, maybe 8 or 9 tournaments left before most of the contests close. So if you got guys who have a little bit of star power, it's definitely time to spend them. You don't want to leave them on the table. If you don't have a lot of those guys, I got maybe 1 or 2 guys that might be kind of under the radar picks that you could probably use for some decent results. So why don't we start with my first selection? So I've already used this guy in one and done, but it's a guy who has not played very well, probably in about a couple months, but he's definitely showing signs that I think things are starting to come together for him. At the Memorial, he had to withdraw while he was in the top 10, T14 at the U.S. Open. And then last week, he got off to a really bad start of the Travelers, but ended up having a really good second round, almost made the weekend there. And that's Colin Morikawa. And, a lot of people are saying, okay, you got to be a bomber to win at this place and you got to hit a lot of birdies. Well, I know the last couple winners have been bombers, but that hasn't necessarily been the proven track record of success at the Rocket Mortgage. Nate Lashley won this thing. Kevin Kisner's done very well at this event. Adam Hadwin's done very well. Everybody's going to have short irons in their hands coming into a lot of these greens. And, there's no one better in this field with a short iron in his hand than Colin Morikawa. He's absolutely excellent under 150. Really good birdie rates too, despite the fact that he hasn't been all that good of a putter. And at a lot of tournaments where the winning score ended up being well into the 20s, he's got a lot of really good finishes there. Second at the Tournament Champions this year, Kapalua probably should have won that one too. Second at the CJ Cup at Summit. He got, I think, to about 23 under there, only lost by a shot. Some other really good results at Kapalua. He's got a T4, the John Deere. So the guy can definitely go low at certain golf courses when he's feeling it. And it usually comes down if he's putting very well. In the last 3 tournaments, he's actually gained strokes putting. He just gained strokes putting at the PGA Championship with Donald Ross Greens. These are Ross Greens as well. And he's won twice on Bent Poa surfaces. So maybe some things are going to kind of come together for Colin Morikawa. This guy has proven that he doesn't need form before a win. He won the Workday without a lot of form coming in. He won randomly the Open without any form. He won Concession without any form. Maybe he comes out and surprise people this week. So I think that's a solid pick for one and done if you have him available. You also got to go Sung J M. That's another guy who kind of showed a little bit of flashes last week. Played pretty well, I think, on Thursday and Friday. Faded a little bit over the weekend. But whatever happened after his win in Korea, maybe that's a thing of the past. Maybe get back on track. And he's been very good at this golf course. He has an 8th place finish. He's been really good at golf courses with a lot of birdies too. Obviously, he has really high birdie rates. Very good putter as well. He can definitely get streaky with it. He's won an event like the Shriners at well past 20 under. He did well at Caves Valley. That was a birdie fest. Some good performances at Kapalua, good performances at Silverado. You got some Robert Trent Jones crossover there. I think Silverado is very similar to what you'll see this week at Rocket Mortgage. So there's definitely some good success on golf courses that command a lot of short irons. There's a lot of birdies. You got to score. You got to be explosive. And Sung J M can definitely do that. If you've used both those guys, you don't really have a big option. How about Steven Yeager? He's been kind of just hanging in there. He's got some decent results in here, but kind of just never really in the mix. But I think things are going to finally come together for him. It seems like every single week, one thing is wrong in his game. Sometimes it's the putter, sometimes the iron, sometimes off the tee, but he's shown really good, strong ceiling performances in all those categories over the last month. And it feels like at some point, all of that's just going to come together for a good showing. The iron play has been really good so far this year. He's been pretty good from under 150. It's an area where he's improved a lot. The putting is really volatile, but he's definitely hit some ceiling weeks with the putter recently. Most notably at the Byron Nelson a couple weeks ago. He putted pretty well at Colonial too. And he's got some clunkers. So, if the putter shows up this week, he could be pretty good. He finished 5th this tournament last year too. So maybe coming to a golf course where he's had success before. He's also added some length. So maybe that's going to be the difference maker between, a 5th place finish and a win. So I kind of like Steven Yeager this week. I think that might be a good under the radar pick, but my official one and done selection, and this is going to be the chagrin of my co-host of the Golf Game Podcast. It's Max Homa And again, I guess I'm just going for guys who might just kind of pop out of nowhere this week. Obviously he missed the cut at the US Open, missed the cut last week, but I think he's close. He had a good Thursday at the US Open, and then just around the green, he was a mess there. Came back after a poor showing the first round at the Travelers with a good showing on Friday to give him a little bit of momentum. He's got a couple top 30 finishes here, really high birdie rates, really good from under 150. He has the distance. He's putted really well over the last month or so, basically showing some ceiling performances that you might need in order to get a lot of birdies and actually be in the mix for a win here. He's won twice the Silverado. I mentioned that earlier. There's some crossover comps with Robert Trent Jones doing renovation work at both. Honestly, both courses kind of look the same too from the overheads. Everything's really right out in front of you. Small circular greens, tree lined. So, he has some decent finishes at some of the birdie fests. He finished third at Century Tournament Champions recently, played well at match play. You got to make a lot of birdies there too. So, and obviously a two-time winner at Silverado. So, Max Homa, I think he's going to have a good week. He is my one and done pick for the 2023 Rocket Mortgage Classic. So thanks for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe to the Golf Gambling Podcast in your Apple or Spotify. Give us a rate and review too. We love to hear from you, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We give you free content every single week. So with that, good luck with your one and done picks for the 2023 Rocket Mortgage Classic.